Good afternoon, everyone. I have to tell you, I am so excited and inspired by the discussions we've been having today as part of our technology summit. We've had some powerful members of our CBCF family with us today, and I'm excited about our closing panel discussion. I'd like to thank all of the panelists, the moderators, the audience, everyone for joining us today. I'd also especially like to thank our sponsors for supporting us in today's virtual summit. We cannot thank you enough. Without your support, this would not have been possible. Your partnership and commitment means so much to us, and we enjoy and appreciate that you help us to celebrate the amazing work of leaders throughout the summit today. We've acknowledged that African Americans remain underrepresented in the technology sector. Innovation to technology, gaming, billion-dollar industries, all of these are areas where, frankly, we've been lagging behind and we have not been given equitable opportunities. Current Black representation in computer and math occupations has been moving in the wrong direction for us, simply put. It's been slipping from 8.1% of the field in 2002 to 7.9% in 2016. Those are abysmal numbers. Considering that underrepresented minorities represent 27% of the US population, 6.8% in technical positions in this Silicon Valley sample is indeed true underrepresentation. Even more staggering for us, though, is this. African Americans and Black Americans particularly represent about a quarter of that 6.8% of minorities. We look to the tech cities like Silicon Valley, and I see one major takeaway, and that's this. People from around the country, around the world, they relocate to join a complex ecosystem of support, an ecosystem built to incubate, teach, foster, grow, and invest in people that oftentimes don't look like us. There is need for greater support and greater representation and intentionality in the building of technology ecosystems that drive Black engagement and spur Black entrepreneurship. Do we have to focus on building a new Silicon Valley? I don't know. That's an important question. Maybe not. But we should learn from the spirit that keeps the ecosystem prosperous, the spirit of support, access, and sharing. Those undergird the effort. These are the things that will drive us forward and open some of the doors that have been previously shut and have been inaccessible. Cooperative technology ecosystems are the answer. And that's what we're going to talk about in this closing session of our technology summit. So let us move along as we prepare for the last remaining session. Please allow me the privilege to once again, and finally, for this day, introduce our relentless and tireless CBC chair, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who represents Ohio's 3rd Congressional District. Again, we welcome you, Congresswoman Beatty.
Hello, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and it is my pleasure to join the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation to welcome you to the 2022 Policy for the People Technology Equity Summit, where we gather today to host vital conversations. These are not ideal conversations, nor for the sake of pastime or parade. These conversations are for the purpose of heightened awareness and raising our consciousness to the most accurate truth. For we know that truth and awareness are the seeds of solid policy. As we continue to push forward, demanding every right deserved, we lift our voices and demand that our rights be accessible, exercised, and counted. Our rights are justified on every playing field, including digitally, especially in this digital age where so much of our lives are lived under, with, and over digital platforms. Today, what computer scientists call algorithmic bias affects what our community sees, has access to, and gets denied from. We need conversations like the ones we will hold today. We must always make ourselves intently aware of the policies, practices, and protocols that inform our everyday lives. Then we can become stronger influencers and leaders of our community. We're on the heels of such a gloriously inspiring and power driven event, the annual Legislative Conference. We must use this momentum to drive forward. There is never a better time for any vital conversation than the present. Thank you and enjoy the summit.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sofia Mohammed, and I'm the Interim Executive Director at Black Girls Code. I am so excited for joining this Technology Equity Summit, but also very grateful for you to join us at this Technology Equity Summit, and particularly tuning into this session that will be a very fruitful and eye-opening discussion and exchange of ideas about cooperative technology ecosystems that drive Black entrepreneurship. We are joined here today by 4 dynamic leaders who have made a major impact in the world of both technology, education, and actually entrepreneurship. And I have the pleasure of sharing their brief bios with all of you, and then moderating this discussion. So let's get started. Our first panelist is Chanel Hardy, who is the head of civil rights, strategic outreach, and partnerships lead at Google. Chanel Hardy is an attorney, a public policy expert dedicated to advancing the public policy team at Google, focusing on strategic outreach and external partnerships. Most recently, she had the honor to serve as chief of staff to Federal Communications Commissioner Mignon Claiborne, and who is the first woman to serve as commission chair and the only African American currently in the dais. Chanel, welcome, and we're so excited to have you engage in this conversation with us. Our second panelist is Dr. Georgette Fraser-Moore, who is also known as Dr. G. Dr. G is a global business transformation strategist. She's a technologist, an international speaker, and an author.